returning, and if you're new, I just want to welcome you. I am so glad to have you. My name is Jenny, and today I'm going to be talking about something that I hear a lot of people struggling with in the chronic illness community, and that is applying for disability, specifically online. These are just tips that I found helpful to get approved and hopefully make the process faster and easier. So I hope they help you too. The first, and in my opinion, the most crucial step is a medical binder, having all of your medical records together. It's going to make applying so much easier for you and potentially quicker in getting you that decision. So to show them that, first of all, just for you, for the application process. So here's my binder, and it is the biggest one that I could find because, you know, I had 10 plus years, when I applied, I had 10 plus years of health problems, but that led up to, ending up needing to apply for disability. So I'm actually going to do do a video showing how I organized this, what I think is relevant to put in it, and just how I organized it, and hopefully that helps. I'll do that next time. But anyway, this is mine. I've got all of my imaging. Try to hold it up, it's heavy. You could do a portfolio, you could do it online probably, but just anything to where everything is in one place and you can access it. I keep my doctor's orders like in this little side spot. It's got the clear, so you can put things in it, necessary documents, whatever. I bought these these little envelopes to put the imaging discs in it. And then I just have it divided by diagnoses, surgeries, procedures, treatments, medications, all of my doctor's contact information, and basically making sure, all of that's there, of course, but so the information that you need to have, your medications, dosages, who's prescribing them, how long you've been on them, and that is important because say you're on a medication that is sort of a risky medication, for example, I'm just hypothetically, and they know that, but they see that your doctor sees that the benefits of being on this medication outweigh the risks. And that's the objectively proving that you need that medication for this condition. The whole thing with the records is to objectively prove that you do have this condition, that it is debilitating, that it is disabling. And so things like those side effects too. An important, medication that you have to have causes drowsiness, which therefore interferes with your work. Things like that, right? Also, things that you've tried, that, whatever you've tried, anything and everything you've tried, try to keep track of it. Try to have it in there, like acupuncture, chiropractic, whatever you've done, everything and anything you've done, you want it in there, preferably with dates, where you had it done, and the contact information and all of those things, so that they can, prove it. It's not enough just to put your symptoms down and things like that. It's all about really proving it. So you just want to make sure you have all of that information to prove the condition, whatever the conditions are that you're applying for disability for. The second tip that I have is don't use an advocacy firm. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of those, but so I had a bad experience with one, but I'm not saying that just because of that. I'm saying because of what I've learned in applying for myself online, and that it wasn't as challenging as I thought, and that they would have got 10% of my back pay to try to do it yourself, because then you get all of the back pay. You don't have to share it. And in my opinion, the most challenging part of all of it was gathering the information. That's what was most appealing to me in turning to a advocacy. Sorry, excuse me. Readjust. Turning to an advocacy firm in the first place is because I was too sick and in too much pain to go gather up all my records. So what I would suggest is, if you have somebody that can help you to do that, and now they can email them to you, they can You can get it, some places can, ask for help. Put somebody on if you're having a hard time physically going and getting the records and they won't mail them to you. I mean, I think most places will mail them to you. So, just ask for help, and that would be my suggestion if that's the problem. But that's the hardest part. Once you get all that information, thankfully we do so much on computers now, you can do that from home. I suggest not using an advocacy firm. So number 3, you'll need your income information, your social security number, of course, your spouse's I can't talk, spouse's social security numbers, your children's socials, your bank account information for deposits, because when you get approved, they do direct deposit. They don't do checks anymore. So have that ready. Tip that I suggest is gathering your work and income information for the past 15 years. This is really important because it's either going to qualify you for SSDI or SSI. And so SSDI, if you've never, if you don't know the difference between the two, as you work, you're gaining credits and you're paying into the Social Security disability insurance. And so when you go to apply for disability, they're going to see if you have enough credits to be eligible to be on SSDI. And SSI is for those, from my understanding, that don't have enough credits, either probably because of age or you've been out of work for so long because of how ill you are. So definitely have all of that. And it's going to help determine whether or not, based on your profession, your past work experience, whether or not you could work in a different job or capacity. For example, I had worked in the hospital setting and had already been having many years of difficulty with the desk job that I had. So I had found a job, a sedentary job, which is hard to do as a nurse. Most jobs are at least a little bit of physical activity. So I had worked there and had to leave, for periods of time and come back and cut back on hours. And so they could see that I was the most sedentary nursing job that they have, I was unable, or available, I was unable to perform, the requirements. So they look at things like that. And then of course I had waited tables before that, and I definitely couldn't do that. So it's important because to have that, that information, so they can see you can't do these other things. It may be that they suggest you try something else first. I'm not sure, because in my case that wasn't the situation, but I think that probably helped push mine through a little bit faster. So keep records of your past employers, their contact information, and income. But income, tax statements, pay stubs if you can, definitely helpful. And 5th tip that I have is, after you've got all your information in, you've applied, and I'll link below the direct link to where you apply. Make sure to keep your receipt number. That's going to be your reference number if you call to check on the status, or if for whatever, that's going to be what you use to reference your application. So definitely that's important to have. But I wouldn't personally, what I was going to say is, I wouldn't personally consult with a lawyer or consider a lawyer unless you're denied after you've applied yourself. The reason being is because I talked to 4 different lawyers trying to choose one, and they all suggested first applying on my own. And I did that. The lawyer that I chose out of the 4, suggested that I apply on my own, and I wasn't expecting to get approved so quickly. I got approved in 3 months. I definitely wasn't expecting that, but so it was me. They hadn't done anything yet, but they still got their 10% because I had been utilized. I had signed off for them to help me, right? So I think, unless it doesn't matter to you about getting your back pay or having to share the 10% or lose the 10%, that it would be more beneficial, or at least to me, to just apply on your own, and then if you're denied at that point and you need to appeal it at that point, to choose a lawyer. And I suggest, if you can, to meet with or consult with, and usually they'll do a free consultation over the phone, to meet with at least 3 lawyers so that you know who will help you the most. I heard that tip somewhere, and I thought it was a little overboard, but I'm so glad I did, because the lawyer that I chose, he definitely stood out, and I could tell he would be the one that was going to help me to win my case, which I wanted anyway, but you know what I mean. So try to talk to as many as you can, if you can. So yeah, I hope that something helps you if you are in the process of applying for disability, or at least it encourages you that it is possible, and that you know that you can do it. It's doable, and I hope something there helps you, though, and I wish you the best of luck as you're applying. And I will, next week, or when I post again, share again, I'll show you how I've organized my medical binder. I would appreciate you guys if you give me a thumbs up if this helped you at all. Subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification bell so that you are notified when I upload next. And I just wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time. Bye.